What are you wearing, kid? Greenhorn, what are you, blind or something? If you're going to dress like every other curtain jerker here in Chattanooga, jerking the curtain off the wall and wearing it, this plan's never going to work. You need to dress more like the swing man with style, class.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of This Whole Everything. This is our 1001th episode. episode. Volume 3, number 1. That's what it is. Volume 3, number 1. And let's say hi to the people in the chat already. Sci-fi and fantasy read-along. Why they even exist anymore now that they're done with that last book. Get back to editing. Yo. And then we also have Jilby Pill, not from the other room as she has been in the past. We have a little bit of a snafu right now when it comes to Comcast. I can't seem to get an upload speed that's worth a damn, and so I'm doing this kind of stuff here at the store. So Jilby Pill, hi. Joe. Hey, Joe. How's it going, man? Nice of you to come in. Courtney Holland, for those of you that don't know, she shows up for the Wrestling Council stuff that I do on Thursdays. And, well, we should just go right on into this really quick. I was going to tell everybody that watches my Fantastic Comics channel that this Saturday I will be hosting AEW Full Gear live watch on my channel. That is Yule Carter. So let me make sure that's ready. Make sure that's ready. There you go, Yule Carter. You just type Yule Carter in YouTube. And if you want to see some fools talking about wrestling as it's happening, there is going to be a very hot pay-per-view coming on tomorrow from AEW. For those of you that don't know, AEW is the upstart company that is owned by Tony Khan, and I think he played football. Real rich dude. And Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes, R.I.P., owns this company along with him and runs it with the Young Bucks, who are some Southern California guys, and Kenny Omega, who was a star in Japan, and he's Canadian. He's a real... he really likes Japanese stuff, but he's finally made the leap and is, along with his company, really trying to do some really special things. And they're taking on the big bad guy, WWE, every week, and almost always doing better stuff with the amount of time and talent that they have. So, again, if you are into wrestling, this might be one of those things. If you have been in the wrestling before, like maybe think about that time when you were kind of like, I don't really like it anymore, and then you found ECW for the first time. Or maybe, when you first found out who Hulk Hogan was, depending on how old you are. And there's this one is the one. This is you should pay attention to AEW. If anybody is going to do anything that's worthwhile going forward, it's going to be that company. And like case in point, WWE, Vince McMahon, he and I have instilled this this policy where you are not allowed to use, I don't even think you're allowed to do it actually, but you can't use your wrestling name when you are on a Twitch or YouTube stream. And I don't even think they really want you getting yourself over in your real name either. And, I could understand a company feeling like that it kind of blurs what they're trying to present, which is a somewhat real product. But when you have things like The Fiend, it's hard to really see it that way. What's so real about The Undertaker, And they have these really stringent policies that are really jerky to their performers, and these guys are just contract performers anyway. You would think they wouldn't have such a control over their life any more than they already do. Of course, COVID's given them some of their life back. Funny enough, wrestlers probably have more of a life, home life now not being able to go and do what they're supposed to be doing as far as a job is concerned, which is the thing that gives them the life that they're not able to have. You ever notice that you work so much and you're doing it so that you can have this home life, and then when you go home you realize, oh damn, I ate dinner and I went to bed and I really didn't have much of a home life that day. And how many of those string together? So, like I said, AEW tomorrow, they are going to be getting their full gear on, and I'm going to be hosting that channel. It's Yule Carter, and I'm really excited. I made an opening for the show, and I have a whole bunch of clips, and I'm trying to get a few more together before the show tomorrow, and it's going to be it's going to be a hoot. I guarantee it, a hoot. And there you go. So what is this program? This program is anything. I just wanted to do this, kind of get practicing being by myself, telling a story, maybe talking to people if they bother to show up or have anything to say. AMA. And see if I don't bore you so much that I can't keep my friends' attention. Can I keep my friends' attention? I'm closing the store. It's 5:00 and we're closed now. And it was actually a pretty brisk business. Anytime you have two people in a row in this small ass store. Speaking of, why don't we bring our guest into this to the store, the store show. Put the cam on, and you can see our store. Actually, let me just. I'm behind the counter. See, there's me, right there. Hey, and then behind me there are books, and then you go over here, and that's it. And there you go. There's a new comic rack. There's a new comic rack. There's a new comic rack. And the last comic rack. So that's 4 new comic racks. In the big store that we had 6. I think it's 6, yeah. But we had a hell of a lot more bookshelves and a hell of a lot more tables and books. And for anybody that used to shop at the old store, I know you're probably looking at this and you're kind of sad. And truthfully, I'm a little sad about that also. But the reality of the situation is, oh, there's my mask. The reality of the situation was that we weren't going to be able to stay in that place because it was a behemoth and you had to spend a lot in order to keep it running. And the fact of the matter is we weren't making enough money to keep that one going. And we have a sweetheart deal over here. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get out of our problems, but it's given us a better chance. And then, of course, COVID hit. We were going to have a blowout sale at our store and just, oh my gosh, we were expecting to make a few thousand easy on our way out and, not have to travel with so much and, have a good time and let people know that we were moving over here and all that stuff. And best laid plans. Best laid plans. Thank you very much, Courtney. I appreciate it. Don't listen to sci-fi fantasy. But if you do want to listen to people talking about sci-fi fantasy books, you should head on over there either on YouTube or Spotify or Stitcher or whatever. Sci-fi says not sad. Your store it does feel cozy. It's full. I have curated the stuff. We don't just have anything to appease anybody. More often than not, you're gonna find something back here that's something I've read, I like, or I know. It's been field tested. Maybe I don't read Wicked and Divine, but I have customers that do. In this area, it's a real easy sell. Sandman's a real easy sell. I've read Sandman. I say Sandman because Wicked and Divine feels like an updated version of that. Not that they're mimicking it or copying, just that it's filling the void that a Sandman-less world is. And yeah, it is a comic collector's dream. Let me tell you. And then there's downstairs. So you come on over here, and then when the door opens in. So when you come on in, you're going to look at all these posters I have. Brian K. Vaughan signed those. That's a Matt Kent mind management poster that I ripped the covers off to make it. Helen Slater. There's a little manga shelf. It's a little manga shelf. And then I have a magazine rack right there. That's a local comic there, Afterburner. And then here, let me see if that doesn't work. Yeah, good. Some more posters. And then there's downstairs. Don't mind. Nope, there's downstairs. Can you see? And then downstairs is where all the where the back issues are and the overstock of graphic novels and things like that. Pretty much open to the public, but the Mother's Basement approved. Yes, it is. Right there. That's what I was going to name our store, Mother's Basement. But my brother was like, no. And the guys at Image Comics were like, no. Eric Stevenson. And then Eric Larson wanted to name it Fantastic Comics. This is a little bit of a teaser for those of you that are in here. This is a secret origin that I haven't said yet. We haven't had our first appearance or origin yet. So this is a little bit of a little hints out there for those of you that are interested. So Eric Larson, he's this guy that does this comic called Savage Dragon, and he was like, well, what about Fantastic Comics? And he doesn't have that deep a voice. And I said, yeah. Everybody was like, yeah, that's great. It's got a logo already. Everybody knows it, but they don't know it. It's public domain. Anybody can use it. And so we're like, okay, so that's our logo up there, Fantastic Comics. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's stupid, Mother's Basement, but now we're more like Mother's Basement, or at least down there is. Let's go down to Mother's Basement. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, wait, we can't see it. Let me try this one. There you go. That's going down to Mother's Basement. Let's see. I don't even think I have that. Oh, there it is. Mother's Basement. I do not have Power Shazam number 9 here. That's on my home computer, so I will not be sharing that with you. But you know what? Let me let everybody know right now that Fantastic Comics is at 1708A MLK Jr. Way in Berkeley, California. We have a phone number. We're open Tuesday to Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. You can follow us at fantasticcomics.net. We don't really update the site, but we have dreams of doing it. It's just a two-brother operation, and we don't even operate that well. Open 12 to 5 p.m., and you can see us on eBay and Instagram and sometimes Twitter, Facebook. We'll answer messages if you want to ask questions, or just come on over here and see me in a live stream, because we're going to be doing more of these. Yeah, so there you go. Also, we have a Patreon page. If you can do me a favor, maybe check that out. You can drop $1 or maybe have a monthly recurring bill. We don't offer you anything, but I have talked about doing something like this, a little bit more only for that. So maybe I would have a concept of talking about a comic book, and rather than putting it on YouTube and really worrying about a video or, putting a whole bunch of images in there and stuff, I just put it right on out there and maybe just have a nice little 10-minute talk about the new comics that are coming out and what I think is worthwhile, and then putting it on our Patreon page just for anybody that puts any money in. But mostly it's our customers. It was, it's a way to get a couple extra bucks out of them without them having to take home a crap ton of comics. I think I have a customer, I could get 15,000 from him, no problem. But then can you imagine how many comics I'd have to sell him for 15,000? I think people would just rather give me 20 bucks. So Fantastic Comics Patreon page. I do recommend following us on Instagram if you do IG. It's pretty cool. And I try to put up a bunch of neat comics. I recently just put up the fact that we have this CZUR, the seizure machine. Let me swing this over here, right here. See that? If you go on Instagram, they always try and sell you something. So most recently, I bought this thing called the Belt Bra. And the idea is that they loop around your belt loops, but you don't wear a belt. And therefore, you don't have to worry about a buckle or... I'm getting old right now these days. And, I'm drinking beer, and I sometimes have to go to the bathroom a little faster than normal. And I think, the Velcro is pretty awesome. So I ordered it, and the Velcro is pretty awesome. And if they want to sponsor this show ever, they should. Let's get the views up, people. Let's monetize this. But no, so my brother is thinking the same thing. He just wants a free one of these. But this seizure machine is, the idea is that you take pictures of comics with it. Or pictures of books. And the thing is you don't have to worry about the curvature of the spine. And I can show you a couple pictures because I was doing some comics. So if you're interested, just say yes. But that's what we've done with some of our Patreon money. We did that. We actually paid a couple bills in between opening, when we had to shut down, and then we had to open, and then it was like, all right, we want you to buy this stuff that you put on hold. It's like, okay. We got money from TKO. I've kind of poo-pooed that company because they're kind of all about you buying straight from them. They have a way for comic stores to get involved, but you know how it is when you don't have to deal with another company. Sometimes it's only dealing with their own stuff. It kind of but I also think they right now recently have got their stuff in Ingram, so I might be buying it. And they had a thing where if you were a customer and bought a comic, they would say, hey, yeah, I shop at Fantastic Comics and I'm buying your comic, TKO. And they gave us half of what they made off that customer. And that's pretty freaking awesome. So TKO, everybody. They also have some really good creators that aren't really working in comics fully these days. You may have noticed that guys like Garth Ennis you don't see as often. Joshua Dysart. And they might be going on and doing other things, and that might be some of the reasons. But this is kind of where they're landing. There's another company called AWA, and it's like Artist Workshop something. And J. Michael Straczynski is a writer. He does Resistance over there. Benjamin Percy, who does Wolverine, does a book called Year Zero. Blah, blah, blah. But all these books really feel like they're just treatments so that they can be movies in the future. All right, so I'm going to show it. I will show it. How you like that? It's going to be shown all over the place. All right, let me make that a big screen. And why don't we say hi to Gizmo really quick, and then I'll get you that. All right, Gizmo. He's sitting down here. I guess I should have shown you shit. Let me do that really quick. Can I do that? Can you see him down there? That's his bed right by my bag. Oh, well, maybe later. All right. There you go. Comics. All right. So I'm going to share the screen so that you can see the pictures that the CZUR machine takes. This is kind of a gimme because this book was falling apart, and I just want to take pictures so I can maybe talk about it in Mother's Basement someday. But it's drawn by Gil Kane with I can't say that guy's name. An Esposito. Giacca? I don't know. It is weird looking for a Gil Kane book. It doesn't... that Peter Parker, he almost looks like he has a mustache right here. But these are pretty nice pictures. This is the regular shot. There's a way so this isn't dealing with a curved spine. This is just one big shot. And it's so nice because it puts it straight up to the All right, so this was. Oh no, that wasn't also. It just you don't have to worry about editing hardly at all. I mean, I kind of sometimes do still, but I'm gonna cough. Yeah, so there you go. So this is a book I pressed, but let me see. You can so like if you were putting this on eBay, there would be an ability to go in and take a look close up. So that'd be what it's like. There's the back, classic Spalding ad, Jack Davis, Dr. J. And then this is Cyclops leaving the X-Men after Jean Grey dies in 137. This was a real hard issue for me to get as a kid. It was like one of those that, for some reason, it just didn't really come in as often. And I was buying a little after the fact. This over here on the bottom is kind of, it's just like a printer thing. It's not real ink. Quack. I took a picture of that just cause. And that's what you get so far. Actually, there is an X-Men. Yeah, when we get to X-Men, I'm going to talk about that really in just a second. I took some pictures with that. So let me get one of those up also. Oh, wait, let's get that Mother's Basement off. That's kind of bothering me. All right, let's look at... oh, my dog is adorable. Courtney. This guy, though, let me tell you. So he was replaced. So Gizmo replaced... All right, here we go. We're going to do it now. It's on like Donkey Kong now. Do I have any here? I thought I did. There you go. I got a Pochi folder. All right, now you're going to see an adorable dog. Hopefully there's no personal pictures in here other than the dog. Oh, there you go. Close up. He had just been shaved, I guess. Oh, there he is on Bart. He used to just run on in and like he owned the place. I let him do it. Everybody loved him. He was sleeping in the chair under my Dodger blanket. I was given that as a gift for Christmas, and then he just took it. And now it's a dog blanket. But go Big Blue. Oh, there he is awake. Oh, there he is reading the Hawkeye issue. The dog, the pizza dog issue. And, yeah. Matt Fraction didn't give a shit. How can you not give a shit? Look at that guy. Oh, yeah. I think that's the one we sent out. Oh, and that's, if you saw the picture, I'll bring it up. Farrell Dalrymple, when he came and signed at our store, he did the picture that led into the show, or the thumbnail I used. He did that for us also, and I think he only charged me $50. He's so nice, and he colored it. It's so beautiful. And he came in and he did this Pochi. This is obvious. You can tell he had not been shaved, and I mean Farrell just. He went to town on it, and it took him a while. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, there you go. With the tongue out. That's the Pochi prayer dog right there. And that's him coming out of his bag. Shaved again. Oh, yeah. That's my nephew. And that's my dog stepping in his food. Unfortunately, there you go. That's enough of that. All right. So then there's Gizmo. Gizmo's great. I got him after we put Pochi down, and Jill had to go and leave me for like a week or two. She was on some conference, and ATN or Sci-Fi and Fantasy Read Along went along with me to Fremont. It was at Fremont. I think that's where it was. And we checked this dog out after I'd gone to a few places and saw some dogs doing all the internet stuff and whatnot. And so I picked that dude up, and he's great. Licking us, having a great time. Take him to the doctor, and he's got this like bladder stone. He has this really narrow urethra. These kinds of dogs do, so it's very problematic. So now I have to put him on food that, special food, urinary stuff. He had to have surgery. He had surgery, and then he got a hernia, so he had to have another surgery. And this is after, like, I got his teeth worked on. You know how you do when you're getting them checked out. He had been, like, in the first couple of months that I had him drugged up, like, 3 times, put under. And he's cost me so much money. So, again, talking about that Patreon again. Just joking. The Patreon's only for the show. So yeah, Gizmo filled the void. For the longest time, I didn't think he could fill the void, and I also felt really stupid thinking that he would be able to. But he does a really good job. Gizmo Advent Calendar. Do you want me to send a link, Wrestler? Treats and mukbang. That's true. Let me turn around. Where the hell did my brother put it? I don't know. We have oh, there it is. So we have this Advent calendar right here. And, we start in December on that one. So this will be an awesome feature. And if it's not live, I'll make a video for it. Oh my God, I'm making work for myself. Good idea, Wrestler. Yeah, making more work for me. Oh, it was past was it past Dublin? We went in that direction? I can't remember, but it was whether it was like some soccer and baseball games going on. But let's see. Yeah, well, you give them the comics that you don't have a problem giving them. Anyhow, there you go. Now I'm going to talk about X-Men because everybody wants to know more about X-Men. It's going to tie into Twitter. I don't think it's drama, but one of the groups I'm in, let me just get this up. One of the groups I'm in, the guy who put it together, it's the behind the scenes one. It's because he has this show, Thinking Critical, which I'm often on, whether as a guest in like a little video or his live streams on Saturday. And, I don't know if that's being affected in any way, but, like that guy left the group and I didn't realize it. And then I saw today that Perch left the group, and, it's kind of like I said, it's, all about that show. And I was like, oh, hey, was there anything wrong, or was it just one of those, I'm just trying to pare down my groups that I'm in. And I'm like, oh, I see. So, I don't really too active. I'm only in the Wrestling Council one because, we have to get ready for the show and we do links and stuff like that. Anyhow, one of the guys in there, it's been a very useful group to be in because even though some of the guys are just really fans, they bring up instances that are very interesting. And I don't know, I think a lot of people have been really going crazy this last Tuesday. And I wonder why. I know what it is. I do know what it is, actually. It's the fact that a week before, the Dodgers won the World Series. And people are losing their minds. They just can't believe how wonderful this world can be with a Lakers and Dodgers dominating the South. I want to let you know, LA dominated the South. I don't know why Florida gets South status, but Tampa Bay and Miami, I hear, are in Florida. And Atlanta. Now that's the South. And we took you out. And go Big Blue. But still, watch the Wrestling Council and on Thursdays, but my channel, Yule Carter, on Saturday, because we're going to be talking about wrestling. Today we're talking about this X-Men book. So 12 came out a month ago and 14 came out this week. And there is a large swath of things that are similar. The words may change, but the pictures do not. And I only did a little bit. But as you can see on this page and this page and this page and this page, and I'm using the machine to take these pictures, so I'm trying to have some fun with it. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and with an advertisement in between one of them, and again. And this is not the only ones. The writing is different. Although I have not read the writing, I don't know if it's like maybe from another person's point of view. That would be an obvious way to go. But if you're spending $3.99 for a story, does the art have to be different? Or is it okay to use the same art to tell the story, to tell a different part of the story? We've accepted people, taking the same picture and putting it in the book, or maybe blowing it up if it was like maybe a small pic, like a group scene, and then they blow it up. And you can do that artfully. You'd probably be looking at like Mr. Miracle by Mitch Gerads. He does that. When you keep doing it, is it art? Is it artful, or is it just a stylistic hitch? But comics are expensive, and Hickman and his X-Men universe have rankled me and other readers. And personally, it's not because of anything that's going on in the book. A lot of people get offended for all sorts of things that happen in the comic books, but mine is more of a guy that has to buy these comics for people to buy, and if they don't buy them, I'm stuck with them. And there was this promise of greatness when Jonathan Hickman started writing House of X and Powers of 10. And he was building on all this X-Men lore and doing some really funky stuff that was really super exciting. And said the next, I have all these ideas for all these things that are going to be going on in X-Men. And everybody was excited going forward. And then there were all these ne'er-do-wells. I'm just joking when I say that. But non-Jonathan Hickman people. And whether you like them as writers or artists, it just got to the point where there were so many books going on that it's daunting. And now we have 10 of Swords, which is a story that has 22 parts. And if you get the handbook, that's 23. And these things are coming out weekly, sometimes 3 a week. And, comic book people that come in the comic store have this problem with them. I've noticed it because I have this problem too. They have to keep buying them. And if they're told that, part of the story will be missing, that's some people can take it or leave it, and I applaud them. But, when you really get into it and you get into the lore and you're like, I like X-Men, this is going to be the thing that, defines me for the next 7 years, whether you knew you were saying that going in or not. You want to complete the frickin' story. You want to have it all there. And when there's a 22-part anything that isn't just in the same book, like if it was 22 months in a row or 2 a month, 11 months in a row of Hickman doing this 22-part epic within his story, that would be frickin' awesome. But it's not. It's the Marauders that doesn't have all the X-Men in it. And the teams that they choose, and I'm not even talking about the creative teams, they're just not fun. And they're also not Hickman. The promise that he was bringing wasn't all these people that are working on the books. It's him working on the book. And that's sad. And then you get a book like this. And you know what? Hickman might be telling... This is Hickman's book. He might be telling this really freaking awesome book, story. And everybody digs it. But, man, just a month ago, I saw most of the same pictures. And they still look good. But that good? Anyway, there you go. That's X-Men. What do you think of that? Yeah. Good night, Courtney. See you tomorrow. Oh, Jill said that. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Wow, we have 8 people. Wow, who am I missing? I saw Rassler. Courtney's gone, but we still have 8 people. So, say hi. My name is Yule. If you just stumbled on us, I am a guy who owns a comic store in Berkeley, California. I am going to dox myself right now. There you go. Don't call now though. I've taken the phone off the hook, and if you test me, I will. But yeah, we are open from 12 to 5. And this is not what my downstairs looks like, but it kind of does. I'm going to share this screen so that you can see what my Instagram looks like. Yeah. Oh, look, there's the CZUR missing, the seizure. And I'm taking that picture of the 138 X-Men. And this is me downstairs. You can see just to the right of that picture, that poster, one of the bookshelves, oversized on the top right. All right, Jill, here you go. That is one of my favorite comics. Joe Casey is one of my favorite comic creators, and Tom Scaly is a fantastic imitator. No, I'm just joking. Stylistic, obviously, like Jack Kirby. He, I think, has always drawn this way and was a shoe-in to do the Fantastic Four. I forget what they called it. It was like the X-Men Grand Design. It was Fantastic Four Grand Design or whatever. And he went in and is basically retelling classic Kirby and Stanley Fantastic Four stories. I also recommend checking out the Ed Piskor X-Men Grand Design. I also recommend this Joe Casey, Tom Scaly Godland, because what an awesome series. They do have some conversation that might date itself, you know. I guess it depends if you know who. God, what's the guy's name? Ty Pennington, and who he is. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, early 2000s. But nonetheless, the story is still very pertinent. It's about a family, and this guy that went to Mars and got these powers. All right, guys. This will cost you $150 if you want to get it, and I can order it still. But this is a IDW Artist Edition, and they take black and white. They take the original scans, or the original pages, and scan them into a book, and they put entire issues together. And this is Micronauts. I don't know who cares about the Micronauts. Yeah, it was a crappy toy. I totally agree with everybody. But Michael Golden did the first 12 issues. And Michael Golden didn't always just do comic books. He was an advertising guy, and when he made enough money and was able to come back to comics, he would. I don't know. Sometimes he says it's more creative being a commercial artist because you have different things to do. But his love was comic books. So that kind of confuses me. But I've never talked to him about it. Anyway, he's a great artist. I love it. I love the way he draws, and just his faces and eyes, mouth and eyes are just really super cool. And look, there's even some in color. Oh, wow. Michael Golden's fantastic. I really like him. And there's that X-Men that I pressed. We put it up on eBay. So why don't I show you that right now? You can go to our eBay store and you can bid on X-Men number 135. We swear it's a 9.8. It's as close to a 9.8 as you can get. So we're putting it at $100 if you want to bid on it. Or you can buy it now for like $250. And also check out, we have Action Comics number 9. So if you haven't got that before, you can get it for the low, low price of $10. Most recently, we sold Batgirl 50 and X-Men number 12, the one we were just bitching about. I was not. There, I'm going to stop sharing screen and go to comments. All right, nothing else. All right, I'm bored you to death. So I think I did 45 minutes. If anybody has anything else I want to say before I get off the air, you should do it. Hi to everyone. Oh, here we go. Kenneth Bird. Hello, Kenneth Bird. We were talking about some comic books. We're looking at an advent calendar for dogs. Hi and bye. Goodbye, sci-fi. Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is pretty fun. I think I'm going to come on in on Fridays and do this. I've been thinking about doing this on Mondays. If I can build a small audience, and I mean, I could even do it earlier in the day on Monday. But I'm just trying to find a range so that I can work around my internet issues when it comes to my home life. It's very upsetting. But most definitely, you should check out my Yule Carter channel. If you do, hit the subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. We're going to be talking about AEW's Full Gear tomorrow as it's happening. We will not be showing it, so please don't hit a thumbs down for that. But definitely hit a thumbs up even if you're not going to show up and are willing to do that. I can't find that. Where is it? Yule's engagements. There we go. Bam. No. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yule's engagements. Yeah, so if you go to Yule Carter, and I have... just hit the bell for notifications. Sometimes that stuff doesn't pop up properly. And it has Full Gear. Like I said, Full Gear is going to be a really awesome pay-per-view, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to have Comic Book Bob with me. I think Jill's going to do it, and so is Hollywood, who has joined us for other ones. But definitely Comic Book Bob and probably Jill. And the stars of AEW wrestling. All right, let's check this out. Good night. Smooth Jamming. I like that name. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I can't wait to get... I've had to not do Thinking Critical because of some things I've had to do in store. Paperwork on Sundays, which would be when we record sometimes. And then Mondays, I've been doing this other thing, plus the dog vet situation. Oh, yeah, I haven't even talked to... Jesus, Gizmo. I know. Give my ISP hell. I'm paying for that, I agree. Actually, I'm not paying for it, and the person that has to give them hell has to give them hell. And I don't want them to have to do that if they don't want. But they know that something's up, so, you know, we at least got that going for us. Oh, damn. Do I have a clip here for you? Nah. Oh, yeah. So Thinking Critical. Oh, yeah. Before we leave, I know I always do this. Here are some awesome channels that I would highly recommend going and checking out. And I'm going to let you know what all of them are. So first up, we had Discovery Bay Comics, and what JB does on that channel. He's changing it up a bit, but he had a live show today where he was telling about different YouTube channels that talk about comics and pop vinyls. And he also talks about ones that are having live streams. And he totally plugged us. Awesome. And that's what he does. He's here to help the YouTube comic book and Funko Pop communities. There's a lot of slabbing going on. And yeah, if you dig that kind of stuff, you should check out his channel. It's a good hub. Just Rican and his comics. Rod's the same way, basically. These are the two guys that I mostly follow that are community builders. And he's a pretty cool dude. I don't know if he's Philadelphia or New Jersey, but, you know, half of them like Eagles, or the Eagles or something like that. Oh, yeah, the Phillies. Boo. Comics by Perch, I went on as he was on. So if you are going to check out his show, it's a much more thought out and drunken mess of a show. I promise to have a drunken mess of a show tomorrow on the Yule Carter channel. But for Fantastic Comics, I try and keep it pretty sober. Just a couple beers. But Comics by Perch, he's probably drinking some Bullet or something like that. Cartoonist Kayfabe is Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg. Already talked about Ed Piskor. Jim Rugg is awesome. He did a book called Street Angel, still does, and he's great. And they talk about comics in a behind-the-scenes kind of way. And then Comics Claptrap, last but not least, and there's so many more stations out. Oh, Thinking Critical, Talking Balls. Comics Claptrap is a customer of mine. He and some friends interview comic creators that are a little bit more indie. But they talked to Tom Scioli, so you should check out that one. Get a good idea of what he's like. And yeah, I totally missed Talking Balls, which we do on all the other wrestling stuff I do. And Thinking Critical, because that's what led me to this. And yeah, so there you go. Thank you very much for mentioning me about that. And, yeah. Oh, Fantasia's here. Hello, Fantasia. And Diablo. As I'm just about to wrap things up, y'all, I'm going to figure this out. I promise. I was showing some stuff earlier on that we used with our Patreon money. So if you're interested in that, you should check that out. And you should check these comic channels out. These are all really good. And yeah, and they probably won't hurt anybody's delicate sensibilities also. And yeah, we need that. we don't want anybody being upset right now. Unless you don't like the Dodgers, and then woo! Did I show that Wrestling Council t-shirt commercial? Because I'm going to show it again. So check this out.
What are you wearing, kid? Greenhorn? What are you, blind or something? If you're going to dress like every other curtain jerker here in Chattanooga, jerking the curtain off the wall and wearing it, this plan's never going to work. You need to dress more like the swing man with style, class.
Don't be a curtain jerker. Jerking that curtain. Yeah, you can go on over, a link down below, and check out another thing that I do other than just talking about AEW on my channel. Wrestling Council, and that's a really good looking shirt, I think. We paid money for that, I'll have you know. I'd like to get some money back, so go ahead and check that out. It's like $25, unless you're a double X kind of person. And there's even bigger sizes, and they come in like 5 different colors. I think they all look really good. Also we have a heel Yule t-shirt, and you just look for that one too. It's me in a Dodger hat with sunglasses. The guys in the Wrestling Council think I'm a heel, and I mean, or that I'm being a heel sometimes. I just tend to think that I may be a heel all the time, or it's just Yule, not really a heel. It's just something I am. I'm contrarian a lot of times, and that it makes you out to be kind of a bad guy. All right. Anything else? I miss so much on Tuesdays that I thought this would be a good one. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm gonna sign out, and I'm gonna say goodbye. Check me out on Tuesday at 8 on this channel. And check out Yule Carter tomorrow at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, as we run down AEW as it happens.